Have you ever wondered why you keep holding yourself back? Every time life starts getting better, something inside you pulls you backward. You make a plan, you feel ready, then somehow you never begin. You delay, you hesitate, you overthink, and somehow nothing changes. It looks like laziness, but it isn't. Something deeper is happening. Your brain is trying to protect you, even when it hurts your future. Imagine an invisible force inside your mind, quietly pulling you away from growth. This invisible pattern has a name. Psychologists call it self-sabotage, and most people never realize they're living it. The real question is, where did it begin? Self-sabotage doesn't begin with your actions. It begins with a belief, a quiet story about who you are. Maybe I'm not enough. Maybe I always fail. Maybe success isn't for me. You weren't born believing that. You learned it. One moment at a time. A painful memory, a harsh criticism, a silent rejection. Your brain remembered them all. Slowly, they became familiar. And familiar things feel safe, even when they hurt you. Because your brain protects what feels familiar, not what's best for your future. And that's where self-sabotage is born. But the story doesn't end there. That belief doesn't stay in your memory. It quietly moves into your everyday choices, quietly deciding what you avoid and what you accept. Without realizing it, you start obeying it. You stop applying. You stop speaking up. You stop taking risks. Not because you can't, because your story already decided. Every small decision follows the pattern. Every hesitation makes it stronger. Every excuse feels believable because the fear feels familiar, and familiar pain feels safe. Unknown success feels risky, so your brain chooses certainty, even when certainty keeps you stuck. Without noticing, you repeat yesterday, and slowly, your comfort zone becomes your prison. But prisons can feel comfortable. That's why they're hard to escape. The moment life begins to change, your brain sounds the alarm. Not because you're in danger, because you're leaving the familiar. Every new opportunity feels uncertain. Every uncertain step feels risky. Your brain quietly asks, what if this goes wrong? But it never asks, what if it goes right? Fear isn't always loud. Sometimes it sounds logical. Maybe later. I'm not ready. I need more time. The excuses feel real because the fear is real, but the danger is imaginary. Your mind protects an old version of you, even when you've already changed. And that's why growth feels uncomfortable. But there's another trap hidden inside. It doesn't look like fear. It looks like procrastination. You tell yourself, I'll do it tomorrow. Tomorrow never comes. You aren't avoiding the work. You're avoiding the feeling, the fear of failing, the fear of being judged, the fear of not being enough. So your brain chooses delay because delay feels safer. For a moment, the anxiety disappears, but it always comes back stronger. The deadline gets closer, the pressure gets heavier, and your brain learns delay equals relief. The cycle repeats again. Without realizing, you're training your brain, and procrastination becomes self-sabotage. But procrastination isn't the deepest layer. Something even quieter is hiding beneath it. Perfectionism. It sounds like a strength, but often it's just fear. If it isn't perfect, I won't show it. So the work never gets finished. Not because you lack talent, because you're afraid of judgment. An unfinished dream can't be rejected. An unfinished idea can't fail. So your brain keeps it unfinished. It feels like protection, but it's really avoidance. Every unfinished goal protects your fear and weakens your confidence until one day you stop believing in yourself. Not because you failed, because you never gave yourself the chance. But the real battle was never your habits. It was always your identity, the story you believed about yourself. I'm not enough. I always mess things up. I don't deserve success. The longer you repeat the story, the more it feels true. Eventually, it becomes your identity, not something you think, something you become. Your brain starts searching for proof. Every mistake confirms the story. Every rejection confirms the story. Every failure confirms the story. Anything that proves otherwise gets ignored until the story feels like reality. But reality never changed. Only the story inside your mind did. But every story can be rewritten the moment you notice it. Not believe it, just notice it. This is my old pattern, not my future. Awareness creates distance. Distance creates choice. And choice creates change. One small decision at a time. One brave action at a time. Even when it feels uncomfortable. Because growth always feels unfamiliar. But unfamiliar doesn't mean dangerous. It means you're changing. And every small step rewrites the story. Until one day, the old voice fades and a new identity takes its place. The moment you stop sabotaging yourself, you finally become the person you were always capable of being. Your future starts now. One thought, one choice, one day at a time. If you want to understand the hidden psychology shaping your life, subscribe and keep learning how your mind really works.